here we go. So we start off with co-devotional communication. Guys,
What is that?
we cannot stress this enough. This is our absolute go-to foundational secret sauce, magical tools that has saved our relationship hands down and has saved countless of our clients' relationships. People who are like, we're breaking up, it's over. Now they're having babies together or getting married, and all of our friends, like, this stuff works. And I'm gonna say this because perhaps you are new and you don't know a little bit about us. Johan and I have been together almost 12 years. April, it'll be 12 years. We had a very beautiful start and then a rocky middle because we were not fully expressed. We did not know how to share all of our feelings or be transparent.
Rock isn't like you're falling down the highest mountain on the earth and getting beat up and bled and don't know how to stop the fall, and
if it's
hitting crags and trees in the way and getting chewed up by animals and that kind of a thing.
If it's the Osho deck, for any of you who know, it's the Thunderbolt card where you're just like, ah! So we experimented with being in an open relationship. We made many mistakes. We both cheated on each other. We fell in love with other people right after we had gotten engaged. There was a lot of rupture. There was a lot of trauma. There was a lot of betrayal and devastation. And we can firmly say that it was one of the most impactful and important times of our life. And I would not trade it for anything because it birthed this new way of being and connecting and expressing, and what I like to call being in liberated truth, which is learning how to speak our truth as a tool for passion and connection. And so that's a little tutorial. And these tools around co-devotional communication really came to life through that period when we were literally fumbling over our feet and having no idea how to talk about these incredibly challenging, messy, and scary experiences. In co-devotional communication, this is, to what Johan said before, which is absolutely right, this is not only about how to communicate. This is an entirely new way of thinking, perceiving, and making meaning of the world. So this is, from our perspective and our experience, moving from a disempowering way of experiencing the world to an empowering way of experiencing the world, of becoming like scientists and investigators, or in Eastern magicians, like, and in like the Eastern way, like becoming the true witness and observer of what is, and then using that raw material to transform into the highest love.
And really, most of us don't know. We believe that the world is happening to us, right, instead of for us. And that's just a default system in most of our computers, in our brains.
Yeah.
It's like, it's happening to me, I gotta navigate it, life is happening to me. When we switch to programming, it's happening for me instead of to me. So therefore, it's here for me. It must be something wonderful and good. Even if it seems challenging and hard, there's some gold in this.
Yes.
And you learn to navigate the world in a completely different way. And because of it, begin to see opportunities where before you just saw maybe danger, and you saw, this is a lost cause here. All of a sudden, when you see it from a different perspective, experience it from a different perspective, becomes available energy for you to create your life. It's very, very, very empowering and exciting and playful, and life just opens up. Like, I used to be suicidal. I was really, really depressed for many, many years. I didn't know that life could be happening for me. I just thought it was happening to me. So even those of you guys that have been really struggling with like negative thoughts, feeling really down, depression, this course is really, really, really supportive for you.
Yeah. So some of the things that we're going to cover in this section is learning how to create deep safety in relationship. And another side note. This is not only just for a romantic relationship. Of course, this is tailored towards that. We will go into that, but this helps in every relationship. So it's really learning how to use linguistics as a form of creating deep safety and trust so that anything can happen, right? So creating sacredness, safety in your relationship. And then really massively important, how to disarm the moment. So we all know what it feels like when there's a rupture that happens, and then there's this really heightened feeling and your body gets hot and rushes up and you're like, how do we calm our nervous system? How do we calm our partner's nervous system? How do we come back to a grounded, centered space so that we can act from a place of real care and compassion and love, so that we can come back to connection? Because the truth is, let's say 99% of us, we're not trying to hurt each other. That is not our intention. We never want to hurt our partner or our friend or whatever it is. What we deeply want is connection. We want to be seen and received and heard and loved. And so these tools help us calm our nervous system to find our way back to that space.
So one of the biggest things is when we get triggered is that we usually tend to do what? It was somebody else's fault. We tend to blame them, shame them, guilt them, and project onto them our own inner experience. And in this course, we'll teach you how to reverse that.
Yes.
How to first own what you're experiencing. Because again, everything that we experience is subjective, meaning it happens in here. To everyone else, it seems like a different experience. But again, we don't know this. And so when we can take responsibility for the way that we are reacting instead of responding, when we become aware, we begin to respond. There's such incredible power in when we become responding, and also it goes into responsible. When we become responsible with our feelings, with our words, with our actions, everyone begins to trust us. They then can share with us what's been really going on, because we don't just explode on them, we don't just split on them, we don't just freeze on them. We actually are able to move through things and that are maybe the most sensitive, the most important, but our friend or our partner or our parent or our son or daughter didn't feel like they could actually bring it to us because we'll make such a big, huge deal out of it, make it so expensive for them that they will never bring anything to us again. Then everyone's walking around on eggshells being like, everything is fine, everything is fine. But it's just a house of cards waiting to be, crumbled at some point. So these practices again, and this wisdom, this knowledge, is so you can build a really, really strong foundation based on love, safety, trust, connection. And guys, again, it's the best freaking feeling in the whole wide world.
Literally. And so, last little part of this section before we move on, this is something that comes up literally every single time in every relationship, is learning the art of delivery. Delivery is huge, and we can get so wrapped up in this. And I would say that give me a wave or a heart if you feel this, where it's like, it's not necessarily about what you said, it's how you said it that literally was like, ugh. So really teaching about the art of delivery, cadence, tonality, body language, how to use the energy, to weave the energy, to give it and really present it in a way that people are able to receive. Right? Because oftentimes what's happening when we're wanting to speak our truth, we don't necessarily know how to communicate it. The person receives it, goes into immediately defense mode, and then we're in this loop, right? And who here is looped? Hello. Like loop. You don't know how to get out.
Me.
Not you ever. You don't know how to get out of this situation because that has so much to do with it. So it's not just our languaging. That's a huge part. We're going to go so deep into that. But then learning how to use this incredible instrument, this vessel that we have been born into, to weave and alchemize the moment so that we can also feel deeply heard and received and understood, and the person can allow it to land, and then you can be in actual real dialogue.